Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Arda Guler, as it has been reported that Barcelona officials have informed La Liga of the details related to the teenage prodigy's registration. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Sergino Dest, as it has been reported that Barca want to close the departure of the 10 million euro rated outcast this week. We are also going to be discussing more on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. With talks over Arda Guler's potential signing moving forward quite swiftly, Gerard Romero is reporting that Barcelona president Joan Laporta and director Matteo Alemany traveled to the La Liga headquarters in Madrid today to inform the league about the 18-year-old's registration details. Guler is one of the most sought-after prospects in the market currently after an impressive campaign with Fenerbahce. Real Madrid, AC Milan, and Borussia Dortmund are some of the suitors lining up to sign him, but it is Barca who are in pole position to land his services, according to reports. Indeed, some reports have been suggested that the Blaugrana have reached an agreement in principle with the Turkish sensation, courtesy of incoming sports director Deco. With the transfer now seemingly not very far, it seems like the club wish to keep La Liga informed about the developments. As such, Laporta and Alemany have traveled to the La Liga headquarters in Madrid to inform them about the details of Arda Güler's registration. It is unclear whether it means that Barcelona are trying to incorporate the 18-year-old into the team this summer itself, as previous reports have strongly suggested that his signing was being made with an eye on 2024, as the club cannot make the full transfer payments right away. Gerard Romero, though, had previously reported that Barcelona believe that they can sign and register Guler this summer itself rather than waiting for another year. Either way, the meeting with La Liga officials is certainly a positive step in Barca's pursuit of Guler, suggesting that they are a step closer to finalizing a deal for the 18-year-old wonderkid. Of course, Barcelona now look very optimistic in Guler's signature amid competition from the likes of AC Milan and Real Madrid. And I think this should be something to celebrate because we quite remember Barca re-entered this race for Guler after they almost gave up from the player because AC Milan was closer. Real Madrid were also going strongly for the player, and Barca were like they have lost hope. But when Deco insisted that the club should put the efforts to sign him, Barca entered the race even more stronger, and right now, numerous reports have been giving Barcelona positive signs in terms of winning the race to sign Arda Guler. And now Gerard Romero, the ever reliable Barca-based journalist, is saying that the transfer looks now very, very close as Laporta and Alemany did travel to Madrid to the La Liga headquarters yesterday to inform the La Liga institution about Guler's potential registration so that La Liga should be aware, which means it's a sign of things to happen. It is a sign of things to happen. And from the look of things, Barcelona are so positive in this transfer. They are so positive. They are so optimistic. Let me put it that way. Of course, since Deco traveled to Turkey last week, as Laporta himself did confirm in a press conference last week, things have been going on smoothly and positively for us if we have taken notice. Of course, I think Deco is doing a marvelous job in order to convince the player, in order to convince the Turkish club into an agreement, to the extent where there was even a report later last week that Barcelona had come into a full agreement in principle with the player and his representatives. So it's something to be positive, and Barcelona now looks like the real deal as to where the player might play his football next season. Of course, Arda Guler have been having a very great season last time out. His quality is wonderful to the extent where many call him now the Turkish Messi. He knows how to play with his feet, dribbling, so intelligent on the ball, and of course, he have always been the player that top clubs have wanted to sign. And let's not forget, this is his first season. Last season was also the only season he has spent as a professional footballer playing for Turkey in Fenerbahce. He's a Turkish boy by origin, and the talent is outstanding. So if Barca are bringing him this summer, it means Barca are really serious about it, because there were a lot of reports saying that Barca are trying to book him for next year, knowing full well that maybe registration issues might hamper their move for the player to come this very summer. But from the look of things, Barca want to get the deal wrapped up, and they want to ensure that they sign him this summer. He plays for Barca this summer. Unlike the other report that were saying that Barca might wait for next year. Then moving on to the next story of discussion, one of the many names who were certain to have no future at Barcelona is young fullback Sergino Dest, and journalist Gerard Romero has affirmed that the team will look to close the sale this week. Despite the lack of quality right backs within the roster, Dest continues to stay on the sidelines. The former Ajax man was sent to AC Milan on loan last season to resurrect his career, but the 22-year-old failed to make the most of the opportunity. With a valid contract until 2025, the United States international has become more of a liability for Barcelona. Given his performances in the previous season, there are not many suitors who are willing to bet on him. And if someone does decide to approach Barca with an offer, they cannot expect much out of it. Now, back when he joined Milan in September last year, the Serie A side included an option to buy for 20 million euros, but it was announced last week that they will not exercise that option. Right now, 22-year-old Des, whose market value stands at 10 million euros, is on leave and is not expected to return to training with the first team due to his international commitments when preseason begins in a week. From Barca's perspective, the lack of suitors does come as a serious problem. As part of their exit strategies, Samuel Umtiti has already been released from his contract, while Clement Lenglet is expected to move to Tottenham on a permanent transfer after spending the previous season on loan in London. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.